Agrees with you, the council does. Your Padawan, he is. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today, folks, want to talk about the Jedi hierarchy and what order we should be farming them in, and just kind of an overview on how you're going to get all the Jedi. So this is something for newer players or for older players who are looking to add a few extra Jedi. Just like my main account, where I'm at 8.8 million, and I'm like, I don't have enough Jedi. I need more of them if I want to split up my team. So I'm going to be talking about not only what the hierarchy of Jedi should be and, kind of what order you should be farming them in, or at least be looking at them. I'll also be talking about what teams you could potentially be using all of these on to kind of get the most of your roster. So we're going to do that. Before we jump in, just want to remind you guys that if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment in the comment area, and we're trying to mount the algorithm, and it's not easy. It's in fact somewhat difficult. I would really appreciate just a little bit of, just taparoo, hit those buttons, please, folks. The subs, everything. Really appreciate it. We just hit 10K, but it's a race to 20K now. It's ridiculous of me, and we're gonna get a little icon eventually to remind you guys, instead of me wasting your precious time rambling on about it. But thank you so much for helping me mount the algorithm. Let's keep doing it. Let's jump into the video now. Whoa, we're in the game. Madness. How'd we get in the game? Whoa. Crazy. Didn't see that coming. Wow. Alright. Here we are, folks. In the game. We're going to talk about the Jedi ranks. So, for the first rank, and I'm going to do this kind of in tiers it's very difficult for me to know exactly how to rank these, like how to discuss all of these things here. Let's actually get me to the top, though. Whoa. Okay, so I'm going to go in order of the order in which I think these Jedi are powerful, like the power order, basically, or the level of importance, just because, there are a ton of different ways to do it. I thought about doing like kind of progression of, okay, here's what the early game Jedi should be, here's what the late game Jedi should be, mid game, all that stuff. And I think I'm going to do a different video on that, of like the kind of the Jedi specific farming guide, a little bit, something like that, if there's interest. But for now, I'm just going to talk about the different tiers. So the God tier ones obviously are the 2 Jedi, and then Rey, of course, is kind of an impromptu, or an unofficial third, because she works really well with Jedi. But obviously Jedi Master Luke is amazing with both of them are. Kenobi's good with all Galactic Republic, though, as opposed to Jedi Luke, who only wants Jedi. Kenobi doesn't. He's like, oh, you're Galactic Republic. Like, yeah, sure, I could put a use for you. Jedi Master Luke is like, you know what? I've always hated all things Jedi, at least, in my older version. And I think I'm still going to choose only Jedi to be on my team for some reason. So, those don't need further looks. Let's go to the next tier, though. So I think one character that just keeps getting over, I don't know if he's overlooked. He just keeps being so relevant. He's been around for years now, but Jedi Revan has the cool direct focus, so you can choose, you can mark whoever you want. He's fast, so you can get him his turn whenever you want. His leadership does a lot of crazy things. His savior keeps Jedi alive longer. He's one of those guys who you want to prioritize as much as you can, frankly, guys. I know a lot of you guys know this, but I think he's more important than almost any other Jedi. The 2 Galactic Legends, yes, but you can't get those guys until later in the game. Jedi Revan's pretty easy to unlock, and he doesn't really need anything other than like his basic Old Republic friends. I have him at Relic 7. He's doing good, but he's one of those characters, guys. Don't overlook him. He wants to lead his own team still a lot of times. Sometimes he wants to help other people. I mean, he's just a helpful guy. One of the best characters in the game still, guys. I can't believe I like him more than Darth Revan these days. Frankly, Darth Revan might be stronger in general, but Jedi Revan has more utility. General Skywalker, again, so here's the thing about him. You're going to want him with 501st eventually. I mean, granted, he's kind of nice to be able to... He's kind of nice to be able to, throw in with a Jedi Master Kenobi or whatever, but that's a crutch. You don't need him as long as you have other Jedi. You don't need him. Like if you have Ki-Adi-Mundi, granted, Ki-Adi-Mundi's tough to unlock in some ways, but I mean, you don't need Skywalker anywhere other than with 501st, frankly. That if, some people like to do it, and sometimes you need him. Sometimes you do need him if you don't have access to other Jedi. But he's one of those characters that you can kind of just pass on just a little bit. Just like he kind of just goes with his own team, and that's fine. Jedi Knight Luke is probably less important than Skywalker or than Jedi Revan, unfortunately, but he's still pretty important. He's got that really epic stun. He's required for Galactic Legend. He requires a ton to unlock, though, folks. And I don't know. I should put him at Relic 8. I've just been kind of grumpy about the whole thing of, they nerfed him a little bit, and he still has a lot of utility. I think that's the biggest lie, is that people are feeling like he got nerfed so hard that he's useless, and he's not useless. He's just kind of changed a little bit. You have to expect a little less. Like territory battles, once you finally figure out that he's not going to just kill everything in one swing, he starts being really good again. But yeah, he's one of those characters, like, add him to your roster when you can. He adds a lot of utility. He wants to be his own leader as well, if you can. In the end game, I'll show you guys some of the comps. Like, you don't really need him for a lot of the Galactic Republic, or a lot of the Galactic Legend comps. He kind of wants his own team. Grandmaster Yoda is one that you can unlock super early, before you even hit level 85. One of those characters that, really, as long as you can get enough Jedi accumulated, then he's no problem, and he's no problem to gear either. He's one of the most free-to-play friendly characters out there, new player friendly, whatever friendly. He's really good. The one hurdle that you have to realize is, once you get him to gear 11, he is tough to gear, and you don't gain anything from his gear for a long time until you once you're gear 12, some of the pieces start actually being relevant. But even his left side pieces aren't that great. And then you want a lot of relic levels on him. But he's one of those characters. Throw the Zeta onto his special, whichever one of his specials that I think is Battle Meditation. Don't throw one on his leadership unless you're stupid like me and think that it's actually going to hold some utility. He doesn't want his own team. He just wants to be on someone else's team. The awesome thing is he works really well with Jedi Knight Luke, and he works really well with Jedi Revan. He also works fine with Jedi Master Luke, and he works okay with Kenobi. He works okay with Padme. He's a very versatile, awesome Jedi. You should probably work on him, frankly. I mean, you need him Relic 8 eventually anyways. He does a lot of damage. You don't need crazy mods for him. There's not much downside to trying to get him, get him up and running and moving, and he's going to be the backbone to all of your Jedi teams for a long time, until the end game and then beyond. General Kenobi, you need to find he's the incentive to find a guild that doesn't just totally suck. Most guilds can do this on auto, like they can just sim it. So get yourself a 7-star character and just start working on him. He is going to be central to all of the strategies, folks. He is so good. Still, he does a lot of really cool things, and yeah, I mean, he's the pilot to the second best ship, capital ship in the game. He is the guy who, you want him on all the different teams. Padme wants him, General or Jedi Master Kenobi wants him, he can be good on any Jedi team, and in fact, he's good on basically any team out there under the sun. It doesn't matter if it's Padme or if it's Kenobi or if it's like a Darth Vader team. A lot of times he's just good. He's just a good solid tank. There was kind of a joke going on for a while with CG. When CG was doing things, when they were releasing new characters, he would always make it on the list of synergy because he just goes with every character well. The one character he doesn't go well with is Barriss. You always see him paired with Barriss, but it's funny because Barriss only works when you can crit. When someone gets crit, then she heals them. But with Kenobi, he stops people from being crit, and then she can't heal anyone because they're not being crit. They're just doing normal damage. So, I don't know. People have always put them together, and it just makes me laugh. And of course, Kenobi still is good, and Barriss sucks. So, all right. Those are the S tier. Let's go. We're gonna probably move faster now. Okay, so Ki-Adi-Mundi, really good damage dealer, great damage dealer. Prioritize a guild that can unlock Ki-Adi-Mundi and get him to 7 stars as quickly as possible. That is your goal, folks. Find a guild, get your General Skywalker and 501st up, along with Shaak Ti, so that you can get Ki-Adi-Mundi as quickly as you can. He is so good. At Relic 8, he's amazing. At Relic 4, with my alt, he is also really good. He's also really good. So, lots of damage, really good character, really good plug and play, amazing potential for plug and play. He goes with every single Jedi leader so easily. Just amazing utility in terms of that. And all he really does, he has 2 moves that he likes, and the rest you kind of just ignore because he's kind of a weird conehead, strange guy. Like, this little weird top knot thing is just such an odd addition to him. Alright, we got Shaak Ti. She is one of the best plug-and-play Jedi out there. She helps you with every single thing. She's even good with troopers, like Imperial troopers. She's amazing because she can cleanse everyone on her entire team, and she can be really fast if you want to make her fast. She can call to assist and heal. She gets basic... Dispel on basic. She can do so much stuff, and she's got a lot of utility. One thing I want to explore with her is putting her on defense with Bad Batch, because as their leader, it does change their dynamic a little bit, but it makes them way faster, and it gives them like retribution. It gives them a lot of really interesting kind of sideways utility that I kind of haven't thought about before. Someone mentioned it to me in my stream earlier today, and I love that idea. I'm gonna explore it, but she is one of those characters that you want on every Jedi team. Every Jedi team is going to be made better by her, and of course you want to reward that kind of utility with putting pretty crap mods on her. You can see how slow mine is, but you can actually make her way faster, and she's going to be a lot better. You can put ruinous speed on her and make her part of a troopers team to counter Lord Vader. Really cool stuff from Ms. Shaak Ti, from Ms. T, I guess. All right, Jedi Knight Anakin, guys. He's really good because he's a pilot, and because he's good with, most of the teams. He's good with Padme. He's good with Jedi Master Kenobi. He is good with Qui-Gon Jinn. He's absolutely necessary for the Omicron. Omi Jinn. I don't know what the hell we're going to end up calling him. It's just all awkward. But really good stuff. Lots of damage. Pilot. Absolutely need him. You can farm him early on. He's one of the characters you want to be farming, like almost immediately once you start the game. You want to farm him right away. Seriously, guys, farm him and his ship right away. You won't be disappointed. He's the very best ship on the second best fleet. Pretty good stuff. Very relevant. Ahsoka is very similarly relevant. She's not as flashy or cool, and she's one of many Ahsokas these days, but she's still really good, and her ship is really good, and, she does a lot of damage. She has so much utility on so many different teams. Just, put her with Padme, put her with Kenobi, put her, wherever Anakin is or isn't. I mean, Galactic Republic Jedi, really, really like her. She can dispel on basic. She doesn't miss against Foresight, and then she just dispels the Foresight. She's great in territory battles. One of the best characters out there as well in terms of Jedi. And I don't know, Jolee seems like he should be ranked higher in some ways. He's the only Jedi who revives all the other Jedi. He was the cause of lots of anger and hatred for a long time. He was just really frustrating. And just because you'd kill an entire team, and then except for him, and he's tough to kill because you can make it so that you can't crit him, and he has a ton of health and everything, and he's just like, oh hey, I'll just bring everyone back. It's kind of in his nature. He's just kind of a dick in the game, like a cantankerous old coot, and he's kind of in the game like Knights of the Old Republic, and then in this game he's the same way. It's pretty epic. Put some tenacity on him, folks. Read his kit. It's pretty cool. So he barely makes the A-list just because he revives all the Jedi. He's kind of lost sometimes these days, but he's one of those characters you really want to get going. So Basti is one of the earliest Jedi you want to be getting, folks. I realize I put her in the B tier list, but early game, she's amazing. You can see that even my big account only has her at Relic 3 because she doesn't need much more than that. She's got a Dispel, she's got ability block on basic, she's got a really strong leadership with other Jedi, and in general, she can buff everyone. She goes really well with Grandmaster Yoda. She goes really well with, early game, you want her with, Ezra, and Gear 11 Ezra plus her and her lead. You can 2 versus 5 man so many different teams on in GAC. It's pretty fun. She's also part of an off meta counter to be able to counter Supreme Leader Kylo, and she's just really good. The legendary battle meditation is amazing. Her force bond with Revan is pretty cool because you can melt nest. Really good stuff. Hermit Yoda, I don't know why he's way down here, guys. Just because he's tough to get, I guess. Prevail Man still hasn't unlocked him at 3 million. And maybe that's just my own fault. Probably that's the case. But, Hermit Yoda is such a good plug-and-play Jedi. He goes on literally every team except for maybe Jedi Master Kenobi. And he just does a lot of really cool stuff. I really enjoy the heck out of him, and what he brings to the table. I don't know what he brings. He brings that nasty stew to the table. Never mind. We don't appreciate him on that level. But here's the thing: you can make him kind of fast. You can make him he just sits there and buffs people. He's even good with Nest. He gives Nest an additional. You give him give her the Master's training, and she gains extra tenacity and offense. Just super good. But then giving any Jedi an additional 50% offense is crazy, guys. Extra potency on. Jedi Master Luke is really good. He's one of the best plug-and-play characters in the whole game. He goes with anyone, literally anyone, any of the Galactic Legends, anyone. He's just really awesome. Qui-Gon Jinn is kind of an awkward B-level one. He would have been just in the total dumpster up until recently, but he's got his Omicron now, and just like we need more characters for Jedi, we need more, how do we need more Jedi teams, frankly? People are like, oh, well, it just makes a team out of nothing, and I guess it's true on some levels, but at the same time, I have so many Jedi leaders, I don't need another one. But that being said, you can't overlook how powerful his leadership is mixed with the Omicron, and so he gets a huge boost. He's also a Galactic Legend requirement, so his stock is up in general. I don't have the Omicron yet. Eventually I will. I need to get Omicrons for a ton of other people though first. So Old Ben, I don't know. Old Ben is okay, so he's a requirement, an unlock requirement for one of the Galactic Legends, and that's fine. And then, otherwise, as far as plug-and-play goes, he's one of the best plug-and-play Jedi, just because he's got the Mind Trick, so that reduces turn meter, and it also, remove an 80% chance to remove 60% turn meter to all of these different characters. You put ability block on them, offense down, all these really cool things can't be evaded. And so then he dies and does cool stuff. He does a double 2-turn stun, or 2-turn taunt, or not 2 turns, but 2 dispels. You can dispel it and then you have to dispel it again. And I don't know. You could be like me and just put crazy speed on him, and he's still pretty slow, but he's pretty good. In terms of plug and play characters, he goes well with all of them, again, except for Kenobi because he's not Galactic Republic. But really great stuff. Aayla Secura is wonderful as a plug and play ish. So If she's with Jedi Master Luke, she's one of my favorites just because you can play whack-a-mole with her and just have everyone call her to assist. And because she stuns on basic, then, and on this one, I think, what is it? It must be in her unique that just says, yeah, she stuns her target for 1 turn whenever she critically hits. So you can just call her to assist, and you just target every character on the other enemy team, and she just like, stuns them, stun, and then they come out of stun, and then you send them again and stun them. It's whack-a-mole. It's fun. She doesn't do a lot of damage, but that utility of stunning everyone, along with, she does a lot of damage under Jedi Master Luke. Pretty good stuff. She also goes strangely, like I put her with Padme for a long time, and that was fine. That worked pretty well, I think. She was a pretty decent alternative, just because if you get the right stun on the right person, it could go well. She also counters every once in a while, and it surprises people. It's pretty nice. She's a decent plug-and-play character, and she's an unlock character on top of all of that. Definitely worthwhile, in my opinion. Definitely about where she should be on this list of priorities. Now we're getting into the weeds, folks. So we've got Ezra Bridger here, who is... I just got him to Relic 5, and he's fine. He does okay. He does a lot of damage. He surprises a lot of people. And I'll show you guys which team I want him on. He can go with most Jedi, and he's actually got some good utility. So in addition to being a pilot for a ship that we don't use too often, he also does a pretty huge amount of damage with his flourish. And then the nice thing about it, guys, so he can do a double tap on his basic, but the really cool thing is he can also call people to assist. A targeted assist on other Jedi is very welcome, and his DPS is not bad. You need relics on him, but he's probably one of my top characters that I've wanted to be able to flesh out my current Jedi teams. Now, Barriss is another one that, it's like, okay, if you don't have her yet, you need her. You need her Zeta, and then you barely use her. The thing is, she needs a lot of 6E mods if you really want to use her well, because she wants to be a really healthy, really obnoxious to kill healer character. She does good with turn meter gain and stuff. She's a decent plug and play character, and she's Galactic Republic, which is kind of the golden standard for Jedi in a lot of ways. Like that, if she's Galactic Republic, she can be used on a lot of different teams. So she's probably, I would say that in terms of like characters that are mostly like, she's not an unlocked character. She's got some utility, but all she does is she heals some, and then she does no damage with her basic. She goes well on a couple Jedi teams. She'd make a decent 5th. I'd farm Ezra before her though. Plo Koon, I almost like him better than Ayla, just he's got the cool dispel on basic, and I think the biggest part though, the biggest thing that I like is he gives all Jedi allies 50% turn meter. Like that's huge. That's a pretty nice impact. I really like that on a Jedi Revan team who has a lot of turn meter gain anyways. He just goes in, gives everyone turn meter gain. He's just like his ship, actually. His ship is all about doing that, giving the turn meter gain. I guess, the healing and stuff too, but he's pretty decent. Like, he's also a tank, which is really nice as a Galactic Republic character, and he's not super tanky. He doesn't have a taunt of his own, but you can get a taunt for him a few different places now, and I think in a Jedi Revan team he's pretty good. Gear 13 on him, he's probably my next Gear 13 that isn't like Starkiller and Dad Bod Boba and Mara Jade and Talon, because for obvious reasons. But in terms of like boredom gearing, I just want to get him to Gear 13 because he's gonna be really nice to help me split up my Jedi better. Mace Windu is just here because he's a fleet commander, but it's not a good fleet. He can dispel with his special, I guess. He's a tank. He does a few things okay. He's so meh, you guys. He just really is. Honestly, I almost put Kanan in ahead of him, because at least with Kanan, he can use his special and he can dispel all the debuffs on Phoenix. So, if he happens to be on the same team as Ezra, that's pretty cool. Otherwise, he's a tank. He's a rebel, though. He's kind of in a weird place. He's okay. in terms of plug and play, I would do any of the other aforementioned ones first. He's. I'm waiting for the day that Phoenix actually has someone good added to him, and then makes them relevant, or maybe give him an Omicron or something. I don't know. Make him better with other Jedi. Do something. He's okay. He's a tank. That's basically it. And then, all right. So finally, we have Kyle Katarn, which I don't know. He's way better than some of these Jedi for sure. For sure he is. But he goes with Rebel fighters. He's okay with other Jedi, but like, why would you put him with other Jedi when you could put him with Rebel fighters and revolutionize the way the Rebel fighters work? Juhani is a tank, and she's Old Republic, so she's got a little bit of, she's okay. We've been wanting Galactic Republic tanks lately. She's okay. She's not good. She's not even okay. She sucks. Jedi Counselor, he's a pilot for a ship that we kind of use as reinforcements. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. So let's go to the Jedi teams here real quick, guys. This video is turning out to be way longer than I wanted to. But looking at the teams, here are the teams that I propose. Like, this is kind of the teams that I personally like. So we have Jedi Master Kenobi here. And I've been enjoying lately just putting the best characters on teams, because it doesn't open the door for people to use off meta counters very much. So on defense, Kenobi with Kenobi, and then Snips and Ahsoka Tano, Cat. But then Jedi Knight Anakin is great. If you want to use Anakin with the Qui-Gon team, then you can just put Padme here instead. And this team, this is what the team I would use is. On defense, on offense, he's really great in this slot. Padme works okay here. She's less awesome, but because he's gone from Padme anyways, we may as well throw Padme in there, and he can go with Qui-Gon. We have Jedi Master Luke, and you can see, so this isn't a team that's going to conquer a lot of Galactic Legends. So we have you'll kill Supreme Leader Kylo just fine with this, but otherwise, this is one of those teams that it's like, okay, well, we have a bunch of lesser teams to deal with, and this is one of the crowd control comps that you can use. So Jedi Master Luke, I mean, this will take down pretty much any other comp just because of Jedi Master Luke's leadership, and you can do so much damage just based off of his relics. And so, Ki-Adi-Mundi goes well with them. Shock T, of course, keeps him healed so that he tanks. And then everyone calls Ayla to assist and do her stupid thing. And then, her whack-a-mole strategy. And then Barriss can go and, she still calls people to assist like crazy. And because you can call people to assist using his protection power, she actually hits less wet noodle-ish. So, let's see. Then we have Jedi Revan. This is a pretty standard team, guys. The Jedi Revan team, the core four for Jedi Revan, hasn't changed basically ever. Sometimes you need one of these other characters for other comps, but, Jedi Revan, and then you throw Plo Koon in here. He was the guy. That's the reason he's Gear 12 right now, is because I got him there as an addition in my Jedi Revan during the Jedi Revan meta. So, really good comp here, and giving them extra turn meter every once in a while. Giving him he does want relics though, guys. Like at this point, at least if you're like me, if you have all these galactic, like Gear 12 just doesn't cut it anymore. And it's hard to justify, but he is a pilot too. He's got a good ship. It's nice to have it live a little bit longer. Okay, so Jedi Luke is the other one. And of course, guys, remember, this is all these weird splits. If you need to use them for other things, you guys won't ever see me use this exact split. These are just ideas on how to allocate these characters. So we have Jedi Luke with all these guys. Ezra can go with Kanan. They have a little bit of synergy with each other anyways. And then, Hermit Yoda and Jedi Luke, a lot of times those two are all that's needed. But they've got some added utility. Nice to have Old Ben there to taunt and things. You can get extra damage from Ezra, and he can cycle his turn meter and turns pretty well because of one of his specials. Kanan can tank as well a little bit. Generally, I'll probably just take those four and then not put Kanan on any on that team at all before I do anything else. And then General Skywalker should go with 501st. Mon Mothma should have Kyle Katarn at this stage. And then Qui-Gon Jinn can have Jedi Knight Anakin. You could throw Padme on that Kenobi team. And then, I don't know, Mace or whoever. The more good Jedi you put on this team, though, the less you'll have for other teams. And so, I don't know, these are kind of the splits, the things I'm thinking of, folks. What splits are you thinking of? I would love to hear what your thoughts are. I'm not the sole arbiter of truth on this matter, but I've been thinking about Jedi quite a bit, as you can probably gather from this video. Just trying to figure out what exactly is the best way to do things. So, that being said, folks, gonna let you go here. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.